All right, guys, we'll give you everybody a second to get on here, and then we've got a ton of information to drop. I see people start popping on here in a second. Tyson, we were just like a minute late, and I started getting messages already.
Yeah, that's the way it rolls.
When you don't
But
do these things every week,
yeah,
you kind of get you get rusty. I was going through it like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Um,
it's been a
but it
while
looks
since
like,
I've been on, for sure.
yeah, I know. We gotta get back on here and make it more of a weekly thing again. So I guess we can for the next 4 months because we've got a ton to talk about, and it's time. We're back. It's time to get rolling again. We got demo 2 in 2 weeks. We got the announcement of demo 3. Everybody was anticipating that. It is now here, and we've got a lot of things to connect the two, some deals to talk about, classes to open up. But most importantly, I want to start with demo 2 real quick and talk a little bit about that. Tyson, you already know, favorite time of the year. Demo 2 in the format. Unbelievable. If you are a competitor or you're a fan of competition or you love to see uncertainty, love to see underdogs, all that stuff, Demo 2 is the place to be in the singles format.
Yeah, I think from everything from the draws all the way to the action on the track, everything is just intense when you're in the format. Nobody knows what's going on until they hear their name. They walk over to the car, they get the tape, they hit the track, and it's intense for sure.
Intense is an understatement. Anyone that has been there understands what it is. What I like most about this Tyson and this year is we have a bunch of demo guys that have never ran the format, never been in that environment. We know that they're some of the baddest dudes on the planet, but they've never experienced that moment where you have to control your emotions. Uh,
Yep.
like you said, don't know who you're running against until we draw. Right then and there, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys can control their emotions against guys that are pretty seasoned in the format through the last 4 years.
Yeah. You definitely got to hold it together and make sure that you're picking your shots and not just going out there and wasting an opportunity for sure.
Absolutely. And you guys feel free to chime in, have a conversation with us. I can see comments. I got them up, and we will. Randy, thanks for tuning in. So look, favorite time of the year. We're doing it in several different classes. Our rear wheel drive stock, which is like Robbie Crittenden's type of stock, has that environment too. Man, I just love this. I love this because there's records. I love this because there's no excuses. You don't, at the end of the day, if you come to this show, you don't get to make a post on Facebook that says, "Hey, well, we weren't there to win." That's the only reason why you would come to this show is to win. And this show's proved it over the last 4 years. We got a format winner right here, Ken Angle, right there. He got his name, in the record books. Um, but that is the only reason why you come to this show. So those of you that don't know or just tuning in, Demo 2 is first priority. That is June 13th through the 15th. Camping will open up Wednesday night at 6. You'll be able to bring your campers in. And then Thursday we'll start inspections and then roll through the weekend. The schedule of events is posted on our Facebook page. It's posted on our website. You can check that out. We do have entries open in almost every class, I think. Old School Wire's full, or well, I know it's full, but I think there's a couple people not running. But if you're a late sign up, uh, make sure that you get signed up. We're going to keep entries open for that show online until the 8th. So Sunday the 8th. So basically, you got 1 week online, um, and then we're closing entries online. So if you've been to this show before, you know that we don't mess around in inspection, meaning you have inspection times, all that stuff. We need to get all that stuff out, all that driver's list. So on the 8th, all online registration closes. I don't think we're going to open it up, leave it open until the day of the show. We never have before. I don't anticipate here. So Sunday, you've got 1 week to get signed up. So that way we can get ready for the show. Anything else we got to talk about with that?
What's the burnout thing? I keep seeing. Is there something burnout going on at Demo 2 or something?
Yes. So we are trying to intermingle a couple worlds, okay, of the motorsports world. And I think that Bristol, this is going to be a whole lot bigger than it is at Demo 2, okay, in the truck scene. But we're going to have like a show and shine, and then we're going to bring that atmosphere down to Bristol with us in October, where we have a show and shine inside the Coliseum. Is our thought process. We will, that truck world likes to have a little fun, Tyson. And I think they could probably show the Derby community a little bit of the party scene. And we're inviting them in. I'm not sure exactly how big it will be this first go around. But you might see some burnouts. You might see a little bit of partying. These guys definitely know how to party. They know how to bring the energy to the crowd, and we're inviting them into our world, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, there's a show that's not too far back here that was local that has that whole crowd around there. So hopefully we can get those guys to come out and see what we got to put on too.
Everybody wants to party, right? And hey, we'll invite the party. We got to keep it, somewhat under control. But hey, you gotta love a party. Everybody, a lot of people come for that, right? So we definitely are gonna have a party on the track again. If you guys don't know, it is the most competitive show in the entire country, hands down. I don't even think it's debatable when you talk about a singles format. There is no driving around. There is nowhere to hide. We got some guys popping in here that have ran the format. They know what it's all about. Anyone that's ran it loves it. And why would you not? Because, look, you got to beat 2 cars and you're in the feature, and there's a whole lot of money on the line. This show for the past 3 years has been the highest paying singles class in the entire country for 3 straight years. I do not anticipate this year being any different. So pretty excited about that. Now, anything else? I missed that. Is there anything else on the line before we get into this big?
Not that I can think off the top of my head, no.
All right. So the news that I think everybody's been waiting, how we're going to tie this in. We've got Demo 3 on the books here, folks. There's a lot going on with this show, okay? Hats off to the Demo guys, to everybody that supports us outside of that, because we were able to get together and combine the 16, if you followed us last year, the 16 team brackets into a 32 team bracket. So last year you had Whitaker win on one side, Whitaker Auto Salvage and NLR on one side, and you had Hanson Motorsports on the other. It was about as close to the baddest dudes on the planet as you could ever see. If anyone that watched the show or was there in person, just ask them what it was like. And then it got us thinking, how do you top that? How do you top the 2 brackets that we saw SRDB in the finals? We saw Kansas in the finals with Pete Hansen. How do you top this? Well, you combine the 2. No one's ever done a 32 team bracket. No one's ever paid $150,000 to win. No one's and we pay $2,000 for heat winner. You'll see how that's broken down. That's in the payouts there. But 75% of the teams are going to get paid. We know it's an expensive trip. we are going to pay 75% of the teams, because you're going to get paid $2,000 every time you hit the track if you win. Winners get paid. Now, on the other side of this, the one-shot deals. Last year we tried to maybe got a little ahead of ourselves with the teams and people traveling and all this stuff. We know people want to come down here. We know people want to experience the arena, so we listened to everyone. You know, the feedback was we want one-shot deals, and can't see some one-shot deal. Let me see here, Robbie. I don't think I can, but it'll be posted, Robbie. So we want everybody to come down here. We want everybody to experience. I'll go through what these classes are, Robbie. One shot deal. Come down. You know, have a great time for the weekend, and pick a night that you're going to run. So there's going to be different classes. We got an old school wire class. Something unique, Tyson, that we're doing here to make sure that we have entertainment is we're not allowing 100 people to be in these cars or in these classes. Okay. We're not going to have our, yeah, we got a typo. Oops. On the most wanted fine arts. Yeah. Sorry about that. It says $1,000 entry fee. Hey, we'll take that.
Yeah, I'll have to fix that real quick.
Yeah, we'll take it. But yeah, that's a typo. $100 entry fee. Just one too many zeros there. But with that, look, we want you guys to come down. We want you guys to experience it. We're not putting 30, 40 cars on the track. We're not putting 50 cars on the track. We're going to have a really good payout with 15 cars on the track. So every class that we offer is a $200 entry fee, okay, for $2,500 to win, with just 15 cars on the track. That's it. We're not, you know, we're not even breaking even, you know, with the payout, you know, what we're offering there, but it's a very reasonable entry fee of $200, 15 cars on the track. Come experience it. The different classes that we've offered. Well, let me go back to the old school wire. The different classes we got offered. Old school wire. I think some of this old school stuff might come out of the ranks here, is what the conversations have been. And so that's why that's paying $5K, and the entry fee reflects that. So it's $5K to win. If you're an old school wire guy, you want to bust out one of them Imperials, wagons, sedans, or come with a Ford. You know, we're running this class at our Demo 2 event, and it's sold out. Very popular event. So that's what that reflects. Everything else is the $2,500 to win. So let's go through that. We have a $2,500 to win full size. Elite light full size is our basically the Robbie Crittenden class. We have, remember, 15 cars. We have an elite light division compact, 15 cars, $2,500 to win. If these fill, or when they fill, we will think about opening up another one. We have X amount of one-shot deals that we can open up. So if it fills, we will likely open up another one at 15 cars. Again, we're going to keep it to that. Our minivan guys, got to love the minivan guys, want to get them on the stage. They get a one-shot deal, 15 cars. And then we're going to the local crowd, okay, Tyson? And this is where I think we might have missed out on last time, is the 80s motor swap, okay? So down there, an 80s motor swap, whatever you want to call it, 80s wire. Essentially, it's like a bone stock 80s build, where it's like 1980 to 2002 VIX, okay, or cars in general. $2,500 to win. Unique thing here is we have a tilted and non-tilted version. Okay, so a tilted version, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to tilt the Fords. It's going to allow you to change body bolts. And the non-tilted version is not going to allow you to change body bolts, okay, and no tilting. So this is appealing directly to that local crowd down there, that these guys can come and play. And then we have our most wanted fine arts. What is not on this list, and we will be adding, is the Australian invite, okay, with the most wanted fine arts. They're bringing, is it 8 to 10? How many are they at now?
Last time I was 8, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so 8 to 10 guys are coming over from Australia to compete against our guys. We're going to do something unique to pick our guys that are going to represent us that night. So, yeah, Stephen, that is any drivetrain in the 80s motor swap. No creasing, as stock as it gets. So these are very simple, very basic builds, 15 cars on the track. But back to that Australia stuff there. We're going over there in, Tyson, like a month and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like a month and a half. We're traveling over there, and we're kind of returning the favor. I know Devin's going to be traveling with us. He's like a celebrity over there, so I'm sure he won't be going anywhere without taking a ton of pictures. We just I don't, what is it with us? We don't have the face for pictures, or what?
I think it's probably the stash. I think he's got a signature stash going. Just have to
Yeah,
make sure we keep the Sharpies handy.
yeah, he's pulling something off that we cannot. So, but that's the classes, guys. If you guys have any questions on that, we are going to be sending this out. Now, look, something unique that we're going to be doing from here on out is taking care of the people that supported us. So if you are members, okay, or if you ran for us last year, which essentially means that you're a member, okay, you have to be a member. We are going to send these links out to sign up tonight prior to putting everything public tomorrow at 6. So if you guys want in, okay, you are going to get first dibs at our shows. Going forward, anyone that has supported us, okay, in the past, yeah, Derek, sorry, we touched base on that. There is a typo on that. Most wanted fine arts. Obviously, that doesn't make sense. Uh, Sometimes you just can't catch everything. So sorry about that. Just one too many zeros on that. Um, but that would be really cool. So, anyways, where was I at? Where were we at?
The membership
Oh, the
membership
memberships.
people
Yeah.
get first dibs, basically.
So anyone that runs for us, okay, is going to get first access because essentially, obviously, you're part of the organization, you're a member, you're going to get first access and first right of refusal to any of our shows and any of our classes. So if you ran for us, and this is continuous shows, we're going to make sure that we reach out to you first. Look, we want to take care of the people that are supporting us, welcome them back down, and then extend the olive branch, across the rest of the Derby world. So tonight, after this live, we will be sending out that information to everyone that has supported us in the past, is a member, and you guys will have first access to this. As classes fill, we'll let you know, and then we'll let you know, hey, we're going to be opening things up. And we're going to open another class up, and this is the date that we're going to do it. So that's that. Is there anything I'm missing there?
As far as the classes, I don't think so, but I see a logo on here that we probably need to talk about.
That logo is probably going to have its own moment. Okay, but we can touch base on it. There is somebody that is joining us, and that was already a part of one of our teams that are going to be joining the organization now. And we've got some sweet stuff coming with old K&N there. So that is on that note, I'm trying to keep up with the comments here. On that note, that's got to have its own time. We'll let people stew on that. Can't drop all the information at once, just a little snippet. We possibly have a couple more things coming too for everybody. So
just for a reminder before we skip everything, I just want to make sure that there's people that got on here. We're filling up. Once we fill up these, we'll open up another class. So it's not as if it's just 15 and you're out, right?
No, look, our classes, these one-shot deals that we're offering are going to be 15 car one-shot deals. If they fill up, we will possibly offer another one.
Okay.
Yeah, we will post a flyer on our page, but we just want to get some of that information out. We're gonna take that. I'm gonna take that down, remove it, and just I'm gonna go ahead and add like our Demo 3 logo. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll post that on there. All right, so couple things with Demo 2 and Demo 3. This is what we heard everyone last year. We understand that it's the expense of Bristol and going down there and traveling, all that. If you've talked to anyone that went down there, it is literally, you'll never replicate it. It is it has to be it's the best special place I've ever been for a Derby, let alone, I mean, it feels special for NASCAR. But you just can't replicate it. We want as many people to come down there as possible. So hear me out. We got around 100 people watching right now. Hear me out. For Demo 2, if you purchased a weekend pass online, and this is online only, if you purchase a weekend pass online, okay, because we got to be able to track it, so that way we can give you what you're about to get, you will get a free general admission to Demo 3. So again, let me spell that out for you. A weekend pass online is $100. If you purchase a Demo 2 pass online, it doesn't matter if you're going to the Derby or not going to the Derby. Maybe you're not going to Demo 2, but you're going to Demo 3. You will get a free general admission pass to Demo 3 at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's insane. That's a 2-for-1. That's a thank you for supporting us. That's a, hey, you have to experience Demo 3, and we're going to make sure that you do. Here's a free general admission. Come down. Anyone that was down there, ask him about that seating. Tyson, there were people that went from the pits and sat up there and said, hey, yeah, this is just fine.
Yeah, I remember conversations from some drivers and teams that said that they took their family up there, sat up there one time, and for the rest of the show that's where they went to watch when they weren't working on their cars. So it's definitely, and the bar's up there. Don't forget that.
Yeah, there's a bar up there, all that, right?
Yep. Food's up there. Yep.
Guys, we can only go to these venues and experience things like this with your support. And we are doing the most that we possibly can to make sure that you get to experience what a lot of us got to experience last year. And if you didn't get to experience it, hey, come down. We're going back. We're doubling down on this thing. It is that special of an event. By the way, you're going to see some of the best competition, probably the best competition to ever hit the track, period. And that's probably on top of last year, which is crazy and insane to top. So that is deal number 1. We got all that. Anybody got any questions on that? If you purchase a weekend Demo 2 pass, you will get a free general admission pass down to Demo 3. Josh Woodward chimes in for anyone that's like, oh, I don't know. Don't be afraid of the general admission. There's not a bad view of that Derby track, honestly. It's an unbelievable experience, guys. Next deal. We are offering 100 tickets. That's it. 100 tickets. And that could be VIP. That could be pit pass tickets. We have 2 other tickets down there. Okay. So our pit pass ticket allows you to get access into the facility. Okay. So into the racetrack. All right. All day long. And then also allows you to have the general admission seating. Okay. That is our pit pass. So you'll be able to come in, experience everything during the day. We're going to have that Shine and Show in there. That'll be like a Friday and Saturday type deal. You're going to see the guys work on cars. You're going to get to experience Bristol in it. Trust me, any of these guys that are on here, and you guys comment away, pulling into Bristol or walking into Bristol is one of the most iconic walks you could possibly have. Pulling in with a truck and trailer is unbelievable. Some of you guys will get to experience it. Some of you guys will just get to walk in, but the place is unbelievable. That is what a pit pass gets you. So we are, again, only 100 of these, okay? And then we have our VIP. We're only selling 100 of these at a discounted rate. The VIP will get you all of that plus pit side seating. So you don't need to go out, walk up the grandstand. You don't need to do any of that, okay? But it will get you pit side seating. They are going to be discounted right now at $199, okay? So $200 for the pits, for the pit pass, and then $250 for the 4 days. Well, it's actually more than that. If you come early, you'll get a couple more days of access for the VIP. Only 100. Okay, that's it. We're only doing 100 of these. We got people commenting in here. So Evan, it's terrifying. It really is. If you haven't experienced it, it's crazy.
Yeah, even on the golf cart, I know there's a couple times when I was coming from the gate down, it was not something to just fly down that track there. You had to make sure you're on the brake there, and it's definitely something to experience to come through that tunnel.
Yeah, it is. It's insane, and everybody should experience it. This is kind of where we're at in the Derby world, and you have to experience it one time. It's the worst. No one's talking about is getting back up out of there. That's even scarier.
Yeah, for the walking, you don't have to walk down it. There's a tunnel that goes underneath, and that's pretty cool down and under there too.
But you do get to walk up on the banking if you want. I mean, the banking is a lot steeper than what you think.
Yeah, I did so much walking there last year that I had a brand new pair of shoes that I wore the soles off of the bottom of them during the event. So it's steep.
We will talk about the golf cart stuff. It's a touchy subject, right? We'll say that.
Yeah.
Sure. It feels like you got to have a golf cart, but we're going to have more people inside of the track and then more people next to the track with these one and dones.
The big thing is we have to make sure that we're one for safety, but the two is it's limited space. So we really don't have a lot of area to even park golf carts for everybody, but there's a parking lot that we have up top that you can pull into, and then you just got to walk down the tunnel, and then you're not very far at that point. I know a lot of people had worries from like the camping area all the way up back by the drag strip and stuff. So it's not as if we're saying no to that. It's just we have to be responsible, and safety is always top priority inside the track.
Absolutely. There. And then obviously the competitors, they are allowed golf carts, okay, because they got to get around pretty quick. So when you're a competitor and you're competing, it's you got to have a golf cart. Where were we at there? What else did I need to do?
You announced the 100 tickets or 100.
100 tickets, yeah. So we're that deal. Our second deal. So those of you that didn't catch the first deal, okay, is if you buy a general admission online only, you will get, for Demo 2, you will get a general admission ticket for Demo 3. That's anyone. So we sell 5,000 of them. We'll give 5,000 away. Okay. We want you guys to come down here and experience it. That's the first deal. The second deal is we are selling 100 upgradable tickets. These are cheaper than anyone else is getting them. They're actually, we did a little bit of that. Well, actually, no, it's as cheap as you're going to get the tickets, right? Like we've never offered tickets this cheap ever.
No.
So for basically, our pit pass is going to be $199, and the VIP is going to be $249. Again, 100 combined. That's it. Period.
And you're opening that up after this, or when does that start?
That is going to be opened up after this. Yes. So when everything opens up tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we will do that. We got some people asking if there's, going to demo 2 and upgrades and all that stuff. Let me see what he's saying here. For us going to demo 2, we're going to Bristol. Is there a way to upgrade to VIP at Bristol instead of general admission? So yes, there are ways to upgrade different tickets, all that stuff. We will have all of that. We will have all that information, coming out, but then at the gates as you walk in.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway for me here is that we're trying to give back as much as we can to everybody. We want to be able to give to competitors that are members, fans that show up to get tickets. If you're supporting demo, we want to be able to return the favor in the ways that we can.
Yeah. So Jimbo said that. So he's bought VIP passes already. And does he still get the general admission pass? Everybody that buys a ticket online, because we can't track it any other way. Okay. So it has to be online. Anybody that buys a ticket online is going to get that pass. It doesn't matter if you're a driver, if you're this or that. It doesn't matter. We're sending it to every single person.
Yeah, with the online purchase.
And like you said, Tyson, this is a way that we can give back the most. I mean, hey, you're getting free tickets. You're getting as steep a discount as we've ever offered. We want you guys down there. So, yeah, Adam's on the website. Goldberg, Steve asks, where was Goldberg at demo 3 or demo 1? Bill, hey, look, Bill took a look at our world and he wanted to do some things that necessarily, he wanted Steven Adams to go through a table on the track on top of a derby car. And I just didn't, I don't know, Tyson. I don't know if that sells in our world.
No, I don't.
We're kind of about creating a sport that is organic entertainment, and it just didn't work out. But it was really cool to have him at King of Ohio last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all about introducing new people, different people from different areas into the world, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. But we just got to keep reaching out to different people, different areas to try to get as much attention and eyeballs on this sport as we can.
Yeah, essentially that's our job, right? As demo, that is exactly what we're doing. It's not just Goldberg that has had eyes on the sport. There's a lot of other people that are pretty big in the old entertainment industry that are getting eyes on our sport, which is really cool. And that's our job, right? Somebody's going to see it and somebody's going to say, these boys got something here. This is real. This is legit. This is organic. This is competition at the highest level, and it's going to be. We may be closer than ever on that. Got a little smile out of you on that. It may be closer than ever. But we'll see. We'll see. What else we got to go through? Let me check my notes here. We talked about the 2 passes coming up. Okay, the 2 opportunities. Again, that's online only. We'll be posting a link on there. If you haven't, if you need the link now, just go to demo-motorsports.com and go to our ticket page. You can get that online. Oh, website. Okay, so we hear a lot about why things are not on Bristol's website. Tyson, can you elaborate why things are not on their website yet and why you need to act now before prices go skyrocketing?
Yeah, so I mean, there's just a process of the local area down there that, there's businesses that are in that, they up their prices, and whenever they know there's an event coming or whatever, they automatically up their prices, and then so what Bristol's trying to do is help us out here and help our group out with understanding that and trying to essentially save people money here. So we needed time to be able to announce this. We didn't want to step on demo two, and because we have a process that we have to follow here, and just want to make sure that demo two gets through, and then but now's the time. So we're announcing this, and then here shortly after, Bristol will get it up, and then
Bristol's going to get it out. There'll be press releases, all that. But before that happens, if you are buying an Airbnb down there, you have to buy it now, or you're going to pay double the price.
Yeah.
And as soon as it goes up on that schedule, it's double the price, guaranteed. We know that. They've let us know that. We've talked to them. So hotels don't matter as much because we lock in deals there. Okay, so it's not a big hotel deal unless you're going to use somebody that isn't associated with us. Okay, then you're going to probably pay a higher price. But as soon as something goes up on the calendar down there, it's really just simple business. There's a demand now all of a sudden for those rentals, and things go up. Let me make sure I didn't didn't skip through anything else here.
Is there any questions in the comments or?
Bracket, bumpers, height, single classes. Oh, I guess we could go into a little bit of what is actually happening with these rule sets. So that almost kind of deserves its own podcast, and maybe bring some of these drivers in. But we'll hit on it just a little bit. So last year we had 2 classes. We had a pro and a pro light class. The pro class allowed pointy bumpers and had a lot more done to the frames. The pro light class didn't allow pointy bumpers and had a little bit less. What was really neat is we were able to get these guys to come together, okay, and come up with a rule set, okay, that made for the best entertainment. So we basically got rid of wedge cars. So there's some number of things that we did to the back ends. But then another thing that has been talked about for a long time is the pointy bumpers and this and the danger that it and the skill set that it requires, or lack of requires to derby against, and the shots it take. We have to be about entertainment. So the drivers came together, and they voted, right, and we went with no pointy bumpers this year for our entire 32 car field, which is going to be really neat. If you guys watched last year, I thought I didn't think pro was bad at all. Okay, I thought it was the second best probably I've ever seen. But pro light, there's a lot more cars that bent and a lot more destruction there. So in that 32 team bracket, that's what that looks like. By the way, we are looking for 4 teams, okay? 4 teams, and we'll put that out. We'll put that open. We are looking for 4 teams to fill that 32 team bracket. That is currently where we are at, and we are going to put that public and invite everybody from the outside in. We are thinking that we will add some mowers. Inspectors will be out here momentarily. Generator camping. They have full hookup. They have full hookup and electric only. Just trying to make sure we get through all of these questions here. As we wait to make sure no questions are coming in, you know, something that just I look forward to so much is the anticipation of some of these matchups that we're going to get, not only at Demo 2, but Demo 3. And that is literally what it is about. Guys, if you attend these shows, if you watch these shows, you know that these competitors are literally stepping into the arena of the unknown. There is no buddy systems at these shows. There's no politics to play. There's none of that. And there's plenty of shows that if you guys want that across the nation, you know, you get it. Here at these shows, this is Combat Motorsports, and I don't think we can say enough about these drivers willing to do this, because it's unbelievable. I mean, we just flat out don't get to see it anywhere else. It's always a buddy system. It's always a numbers game. It's always a who you know type of deal. And we have built this entire thing on exactly the opposite of that. It doesn't get more entertaining than that. Dale, you better just hang on to your britches. You know, you never know, man. You never know. You see that, Tyson?
Yeah, I see it. Demo 4 at Talladega. Yeah.
Strap in tight, Dale. Strap in tight. We are really, real excited about the future of where this thing is going, and really can't be more excited. So for now, we got the current announcements. That's what we got. We're going to have some more coming, and then we're going to keep it coming. And then over the next 4 months leading up to Demo 3 is going to be an incredible, incredible time. So we're excited about all that. But look, we still can't do it without your guys' support. We're giving back one last time here before we get off air here. You guys, if you buy a Demo 2 weekend pass online only, you get a Demo 3 pass. That will be emailed to you, okay? If you buy 5 passes, we're going to give you 5, okay? It's just how it's working. So if you buy a Demo 2 pass, you're getting a Demo 3 general admission pass. That's for the 4 days. Next, we have our most discounted pit pass tickets and VIP tickets. We're only selling 100. So if we sell 30 pit pass and 70 VIP, that's it. That's 100. Okay. We've got it marked out online. Our pit pass tickets for the weekend are going to be $199. The VIP tickets, which get you the trackside seating, will be $249. Trust me, you have never experienced anything like this. If you weren't there last year, you have to experience it in person.
Yeah, what I like about the 32 team this year is you know, like you had last year, you had some people saying, well, you know, we had great teams in both divisions, but nobody really know who would have won if some of the pro light teams was in the pro, but now we get to figure that out this year. We'll get to take the best in the country teams from all over and just let them play it out, and best team wins.
Well, Tyson, when you think about it, and you have a sport, okay, which is what we're trying to build here, right? You go from a hobby to a sport. One thing that you have to have is you have to have a tiered system, a hierarchy, essentially, okay, of who is the best of the best. At these shows, you don't have to say, hey, hypothetical, if this guy ran against this guy, how would it go? It's literally right in front of you. You either perform that weekend or you don't. And that is that organic, unpredictable, just hair on the back of your neck standing up, draws, formats, heats, all that, I think is what makes this stuff like just undeniable and what will sell outside, not only to our guys, but outside of our world, because people will become fans of these cars and they'll become fans of these personalities and the guys who win, the guys who lose, the guys who win and lose, the guys who don't like to lose. You're going to get to experience it all and see it all. And we capture everything on film, Tyson, so really nothing gets away.
Yeah, yeah. It's, speaking of that, some of the barriers that you have to break down in our own world with, drivers not wanting to show secrets or talk about things. You got to learn that on your own, that type of stuff. So I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I hope that we're breaking down a little bit of that barrier wall to get more views and eyes to see what we really have to offer. Because if we're all locked in the garage here and nobody can see what we're doing, and nobody can know what we're doing, nobody knows what it's all about. Nobody knows that it takes 80 to 100 hours, 120 hours in some of these cars, and the grind. And because you could say all day, like, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, but if we have some of our drivers and teams throughout the whole entire sport that would show it and be like, look, this is no joke. We're not just throwing, knocking windows out and turning the key and going out on the track and smashing stuff here. This is engineered. This is talent is what we're trying to put on display here.
Well, and I think we almost got to elaborate on that. That's a great point. You got to elaborate on that just a little bit more, because our demo guys, they do a ton for us, and one of the things that we're on them to do is open some more windows into the sport, because you're right, man. How is anyone ever going to know what we do if we don't shine some light on it? Like, that's the only way that you're going to get outside people to see our sport.
Yeah, yeah. We have to. Brian usually says this, but we have to put some windows for some light to come in and people to be able to look in and see what's going on here, instead of just having walls up all over. And you know, I don't think that's more true than
Well,
most of the comments.
and that's without getting too deep into that, that is a very interesting thing, because to be a superstar of the sport is something really new, I think, for everybody. And because it comes with criticism, it comes with people knowing who you are, it comes with people forming opinions about you that you've never met in your life, right? They don't know you from Adam, but when you put yourself out there, you definitely open yourself up to those things, which is sometimes, I tell you this all the time, that is a learned trait. I don't think anyone is born wanting to be hated, okay, or liking to be hated. But I think that when you're in the public spotlight, or when you're competing at this level, and I think it's something that you have to experience and you have to understand why that exists. And we all grew up watching sports. There was just a Dale Earnhardt documentary, Earnhardt, on Amazon Prime, and they talked about it. There's a lot you can learn from people that have done this before us. And Tyson, this is what we do all the time, right? We don't have to live 100 lifetimes to understand, what it's like to go through these steps. the on in the Earnhardt documentary, they say as long as they're making noise, if it's booing, if it's cheering, it's whatever. But again, I think that is a learned trait. That is not something that you're born with.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you have to understand the environment that you're in, and understanding that people you're always going to have people that like you, don't like you, but they're talking about you. They're talking about the sport. Which is bringing interest in. But I also understand that it's hard to take when people are telling you that you're doing things you shouldn't do, that was dumb, this and that. But ultimately, when you're doing something that nobody's ever done, you, you know you, you have to plow the field, and you're going to hit some rocks along the way, and you have to understand that you're paving the way for tomorrow, and the people that are coming up behind you. And it's tough, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep on the vision, and know where you're going is the main thing, I think.
Well, just think about it. In the short, really about a year and a half now that demo has existed, the heights that everyone that came together to form the organization and do this has taken the sport is unbelievable. Somebody getting into the sport tomorrow is going to see the pinnacle of the sport as, oh, I get to go perform at Bristol Motor Speedway. I get to go perform at a NASCAR track. You know, Tyson, there was only a short time ago, maybe like a year ago, a year and a half ago, that people said that these things were 100% impossible.
Yeah. Well, and as long as nobody's doing nothing and nobody's trying, it is impossible. But that's what we've brought this group together for, is to break down walls that have never been broken before. And there's going to be some haters out there, and there's going to but you also just have to stick together, and just keep moving forward as an organization, and moving forward in a like I said, in a field that's never been plowed before. So
Yeah, it's not perfect. Jimbo commented on here. I know he faces some of this too. He goes, I fight this every day on my page. It's absolutely, man. I think we all experience it, but I've had several conversations with Jimbo himself, and what he's done, and thanked him for shedding more light on the sport. And I know he's looked at me and said, "Man, you're crazy." And I know there's times I've looked at him and said, "Man, we probably are crazy," but we are getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I mean, you don't get um, you don't get these opportunities by just staying stagnant, right?
right.
And the opportunities are, look what's done in the last year and a half, but there's more out there to get. We got to go chase them down.
Yep. That's just keep moving forward.
And that's all you can do. So you guys that have supported us in the past, thank you very much. You guys that continue to support us, thank you very much, because you literally can't do it without that support. Again, we're giving back as much as we can. We will post all of that. The last thing that I guess we should have touched on earlier on is this event is happening October 1st to the 4th, which is a Wednesday through Saturday. Okay, so that's going to be a lot more convenient on everybody traveling and getting down there. But it's also going to allow a pretty good party there and celebration on Saturday night, especially for one of these teams, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole experience. Bristol is just it's a whole different animal than anything I've ever been. So it's definitely something to experience. So I'll say that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But look, that's the Demo 3 information. Okay, we'll talk more about it. We'll go live here on podcast coming up. But don't overlook Demo 2. Demo 2 is in 2 weeks in Lima, Ohio at the Allen County Fairgrounds. I'm telling you right now, that is the baddest single show on the planet. Hands down, the best competition. These demo guys are coming here to run, some of them for the first time. And these guys are the baddest dudes on the planet. I cannot wait to see who draws who. And the anticipation is going to be through the roof.
Yeah. As far as the single stuff goes, I did, there's not a lot of people out there that are willing to break that buddy system where you go out and you do 4 or 5 year guys. And I understand that that's the culture and that's the way it's been, but it says something when these guys strap in and do the format and go toe to toe, and there's got to be a winner. You can't run it down to 3 or 4, nothing like that, and then essentially do your splitting thing. There's winners here, and I think the people that have signed up, the people that have competed in the show, the win list, everything matters when in the format. So,
I posted something today, and I'll leave everybody with this quote. I really like this quote because I think it's so fitting. It's from Theodore Roosevelt, and it just talks about the man in the arena. But the last part, I think, is really cool. And it says, but who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself in a worldly cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement. So when I think of the triumph of high achievement, I think of Brady Allen winning last year at the King of Ohio. I think of Bob Whitaker and Mavis and Gilgis and Blum and those guys overcoming, SRDB. Like that was just unbelievable in those moments last year. I think of Pete, coming back and getting his revenge, right? Those are the people stepping into the arena. Those are the people willing to put it all on the line, not just in victory, but the next part of that is if somebody fails, at least they fail while doing greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. And, those most promising times and those most high achieving times are right on the fine line, okay, of a terrible moment, right? Everybody that lost in those instances felt terrible in the moment, but when they look back at it, they know that they were there. They knew they knew they were close. They knew they could get back. And that is essentially what we are seeing here, going into Demo 3 and Demo 2 in the format. Is guys are looking for revenge. They're looking for that triumph. They're looking to regain the triumph, or they're looking, because they failed in the past. And those things that motivate competitors and drivers alike are the people that I want to surround myself with, because we're on the same wavelength. We do this to win. If we don't win, we're going to get back on the saddle and try to win. I can't resonate with people that aren't there to win, that aren't there to put the time in and effort in to get second place. I never understood that mentality because winning feels so damn good, but it's eluding. It's so eluding to most and many, but it feels so good to know that you accomplished it. And a lot of the times it feels so damn good because you went through everything to get there. So that's what our guys get to experience. That's the coolest thing about what we do. And we hope you guys join us. On behalf of the whole demo organization, welcome to Demo 2 and Demo 3. There's one thing that you get the hardest hitting bloodbath I've ever seen. Demo 1 was unbelievable. 32 years of derbying, and that's a fact. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it in person. I don't know what it looked like on TV, because once you experience it live, you can't recreate it. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so. I think what we had last year in between our charter owners and then the outside teams was they all understood the assignment, and that was to put on the best show in the last great Coliseum that we possibly could, and they delivered.
And
All of
these guys are the guys in the arena. So hats off to you guys. We will get to see these guys back in the arena in 2 weeks. You guys need anything, let me know. We'll send out these emails and the rest of the information. Thanks everybody for tuning in.